You want a flamethrower for Christmas? Or you want a vampire? Well, guys, today I came to the great outdoors to talk about the end. The end of what we saw was an empire. Remember these guys? Vampire accelerators. Remember these guys? They even had Firebirds. Remember this? Yeah, I remember that. Either you're rocking, the regular 2000, you're rocking the 1200, AGA. That's a different discussion. But for me, I think that this right here, which is the flamethrower. Oh, and let me tell you, I got this from Leap Maker. Now, it's been muffled in my paper. I cut it up. But I ordered this from Leap Maker, and I realized something. Number one, I did send him a message to thank him that, bringing parts to the United States. Number two, once I went ahead and I connected this is the camera cord. I connected it onto my Pi 4, which I actually have power, and it works perfectly no matter what they tell you. I think this battle's over. I think that, what are you gonna do with this? You need AGA? You need sound? I mean, or should I say, you need RTG? What are you gonna do with this? What if you need sound? What if you need AHI? Are you gonna buy this? Are you gonna overpay for this? I don't know. You need RTG. If you need RTG, are you gonna buy this? Are you gonna overpay? I think in the world we're in today, where everything I showed you is overpriced, you get you a nice Pi, you get you a nice Storm, Pi Storm that thing, and you install this. Now, in order for me to game properly here, I went ahead and, if you guys ever see this on eBay or the big Alibaba, you got this copper heat sink here, and this is pretty much how I have it installed. I just grabbed a few extra pieces there, random Pi Storm screws and bolts. I connected it with that. I got my 64 Caffeine OS in, and actually I did install Caffeine OS. I butchered it and did a 323, which basically makes it Amiga OS 3.2.3. And in order for my Pi Storm to work properly, because it won't even really start on my system, I had to have power going in. So it does work with power. It does work with the Pi 4, even though they tell you it's, not really certified for that. I certify it. And with 3.23, you barely crash. So what you have to do is you connect your Storm in here, or should I say your video cable, to your frame thrower. And I figured when I got this, number one, like I said before, I got this from Leap Maker. You can go to leapmaker.com, or you can find them on eBay. I might go ahead and drop some links. So I got this in the mail the other day. I went ahead and I connected it. You connect your video cable, your camera cable, and you connect it all the way down. You connect it directly to your Pi 4. You're gonna look for the connector location on the Pi 4, or on the Pi 4 it connects here, but you can also connect it onto other Raspberry Pis. And you gotta make sure you get the right cable. But when you're connecting this, you just gotta make sure that you connect the connections on this. I believe it's going to the white side. Don't quote me on that, but it should be going to that side from what I see from here. But there's only one way to put it on. So you're just gonna push this. The pins on this one are away. So pins away to the slot, lock it in place. Once you have everything together, you're gonna put it back in the Pi Storm back in. It doesn't matter the length of your cable. It'll be good if it was good size. In my Pistorm, the ship faces to the front. That faces to the front. And this is in as well. You're gonna make sure that your notches match. Your notch matches here, your notch matches here, and the notch is gonna also match where you're connecting it to the board. It's automatically gonna work once you enable a few lines inside of your boot files when it comes to it. And it also, he went ahead and put it here on the Framethrower. So I'll follow these instructions here. I edited the command path, and basically the only thing you really need to do is unicam.boot and unicam.integer. If you want to really get advanced, you can add this. I didn't add this. This is a full screen 4.3. When you switch from RTG to the regular OCS, ECS, whichever, it's automatically going to switch over. You're not going to have to change anything. It's automatically going to, it just switches over. And I also have this enabled, which for me is the 720p 50 hertz. It goes ahead and it changes the quality of some of the text. It doesn't make it as sharp, but it's more compatible. That's what's going on here. I have to have my power down for a certain amount of time. And then I have to hold the power button down most of the time, because you got to make sure that the Pi gets some power. So you usually have to have the power connected and the power supply with some power for a little bit, I'll say 10-15 seconds before you can start the system. As you can see, everything's still in here. We're gonna go ahead and check the screen. When you start up, you see how it blackens out. Usually you would see something else on this screen. You may see a box or something else. This is booting with 3.23. Oh, my camera's not any good. This is actually an error. You should get a black screen, usually with a line here, if your camera's incorrectly. Right now my camera's not incorrectly, but you can see that it's switching over to the Framethrower. And when it switches back, it'll switch back. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the computer, fix my cable, which is not in right, because I went ahead and I touched it and I was able to see. I'm rebooting it. It seems that I didn't have it locked in. Give it a sec. Black square on the screen, you guys see that? That's showing you that the camera is actually connected properly. Otherwise, you'll get the white box like I got previously. Here we go. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick preview. I'm gonna go to Stuff, Expert, do a quick benchmark. On sysinfo, which you know automatically switches out of RTG. And there you go. Now, like I said, for sysinfo, I get the line. Gaming, I don't get a line. I'll go ahead and do a quick speed test. So I'm on 3600 dry stones. Usually I have more, but that's when I have a little special piece of equipment installed. I keep that to myself. See, you switch right back out, bam, you're out of RTG. Talked about your fat partition. You're gonna devices, mount device, and this is in Caffeine OS. You're gonna make sure your config.bat is set up. In my config.bat, I added this. I disabled overscan 1, HDMI group 1, and that as well. And now I believe what's for the 720p. And also under boot, what you're gonna do in command line text, this is what you really need to have in there. I have it right after my memory settings. It's unicam.boot and unicam.integer. Everything right here needs to be one line. And that's to go ahead and enable it to switch off for the Framethrower. And if you're doing this in Caffeine OS, you're gonna right click, command line, open with, edit. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to edit it. You get in here, you're gonna type in your unicam.boot integer, or unicam.boot and unicam.integer. This is what you need to go ahead and enable it to switch off when it automatically leaves RTG, and go ahead and put the regular Amiga display on the screen for you. And this is my real test. So I can too. I'm gonna try to start it up. Let's see. Go ahead and give it the yin and the yang. Start it up. And see, it switched right by over. It switched over with no problem. That's about it. It's just showing you the Framethrower. This is 100% Framethrower. And I also have the Medusa. Let me see if I can turn it on real quick. So this would be on the Medusa. Now, of course, the quality is not going to be, 100% Medusa when it comes to smoothness. But actually, so this is Framethrower. This is the Framethrower right here. Looks pretty good. This is the Medusa. So, in reality, could it be close? Could it be close? Framethrower, Medusa. Framethrower, Medusa. And say I leave the game. So, probably have to function F10. And you click back. That's it. Happy holidays. Happy holidays from Amiga Land. And thanks for the Framethrower from the captain. I want to thank anybody that tuned in and anybody else in Amiga Land that's been working hard to preserve and add on to the process. Thanks. Peace, sir.